Oh yeah, I'm loving the new overlay, and none of you can ruin this for me. It's impossible. I freaking love it. Look at how beautiful this thing is, man. Oh, hot dang. Gold? I don't know, gold bubbles? Just pouring all over me like gold dust. Oh. Happy Friday, my friends. We freaking made it. Golly, what a week. One of those weeks, man. You guys all have these weeks, right? You feel like you're kind of in like a funk, right? I'm in a funk. I'm kind of down. I'm like feeling depressed a little bit. I'm stressed out. I'm kind of frustrated. Don't know why. Can't figure it out. And then I looked, I was like, thank goodness it's Friday, baby. Oh, made it. Absolutely weird week. Happy it's ending soon. I didn't make the overlay weird. This is a sick overlay. Someone ban them. None of my mods are ever here to ban anybody. Golly. What's up, Llama? Good to see you, man. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Thank you for the insight, my man. Thank you. Johnny, thank you very much. Month number 2 sub. Thank you. Good man right there. Muddy Heel, thank you. 100 bits to kick off the show. You're a good dude. A freaking Porter, man. How do you not like this guy? Comes in here, wins $1,000 a week in DFS, drops subs here in chat, and just says hello. I gotta love him. Shaking my head, mods. There you go, franchise. They're dropping the ball every day, man. COVID? Yeah, that'll do it, man. Just kind of puts me in a funk sometimes. I don't know. What's up, MVP? What's up, Windy City, Meyer, Muddy, Mort? Good to see y'all today. GGC? Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome. Tap Bro. I love gold member voice. I'll have to YouTube that one. I remember it. What's up, Fonzie? Signal? Mike 13. Appreciate your presence today, my friends. Papa Wiles. Mad Cow. Knuckles, thank you very much for the 100. Oh, y'all the best. Y'all the best. If you are just tuning in right now and you're like, where'd the Christmas theme go? I promise. It's not gone. We're going to get back to it. I promise you we'll get back to it. What's up, YouTube? Good to see you over there, YouTube family. I love it. I want you guys here all the time. Makes me happy seeing my YouTube family grow. Thanks for hitting the like button down there. Sub button. I already see a few people smashing that. Very generous, very helpful, and thank you very much. Papa Wild's dropping 100 bits in here. Thank you very much. Christmas ROF theme incoming. Yeah, I'll pop it back up like halfway through the show. How's that? You guys will get both today. You're going to get Christmas theme. You're going to get this new gold overlay, which I kind of like. Cancel Christmas. Oh, and there's that. We found the Grinch. Grinch 410. Football fans, thank you, man. 200 bits. Hot dang. Y'all came in very generous today. Knuckles, thank you very much for the 100 too, my friend. What's up, Mac Mittens? Good to see you. Welcome back. Good afternoon, good morning, good noon, depending on where you are. This stack right here is something I wanted to lead off the show talking about today. It's Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Robert Tonyan. Do we need a run back? I'm not entirely sure we do this week. Literally can't point to anybody on Philly I wanted to say, yep, that's the guy. That's the run back stack. It was Goddard. It was Dallas Goddard. But Zach Ertz has been reactivated. Not entirely sure if he's going to be active. You could probably lean on Goddard no matter what. But still, the shine is kind of taken off of him. And Richard Rodgers, the backup we liked playing there as tight end 2 for a few weeks. What type of value does he have left if Ertz is going to be in there taking some snaps? Rodgers in, I think, 5 of the 6 weeks, he has been the tight end 2 with either Goddard or Ertz out, has scored 10-plus points in 5 of the 6 weeks. I believe 8 in the other game. Inherently has been a phenomenal, very low-cost 3.2, 3.3K type option. But this week, if you're plugging in the delicious 3.7K price tag of Robert Tonyan at tight end, I mean, you're going to end up forcing in 2 tight ends, which we know just never wins anything. And here we are, Richard Rodgers, 3.3K. Again, they're inviting you to do it again. And I'm not opposed to it entirely if Ertz does end up being out, but we really, really got to be paying attention to this. Taking off the injured reserve this week, limited participant Wednesday, Thursday. If he is out, again, I think Richard Rodgers, 3.3K, certainly in play. He's been putting up the Dallas Goedert numbers in the Dallas Goedert tight end 2 role. And Goddard's been putting up tight end 1 numbers in the tight end 1 role. So they're both in play. I think they're both in play. Only if Ertz is out. Miles Sanders is the bring back 100%. Wow, you guys are ballers over here. How do you feel about the Laser? I like him, 5K, as long as he's healthy enough to be playing. Never is a bit strong. I ran 2 very happy Kelsey Gronk lineups last week. Hey, never is a strong word in DFS. I agree. You got me. You like the gold overlay? No run backs and a lot of stacks this week. I agree. I think there's a few stacks this week where you don't need to target anybody on the other team, and you can totally just invest into those higher probable type plays at the rest of the slate. I'm right there with you, man. Meyer says, you know what would be interesting to correlate this? What is Green Bay's pass attempts or pace of play and positive game scripts? So playing with a lead, how frequently are they throwing the football? Yeah, that's a good one to go down the rabbit hole with. 28-point implied team total. Philly giving up 128 yards rushing per game. Kind of been one of those funnel defenses, and not because their pass D is good. Let's get that correct. And maybe this is where Myers is trending with this. You know, if we're looking at passing yards per game, right? Philly's way down here. Like, this is because basically teams are just running on them. You know what Philly does too is they turn the ball over so much this year. I feel like opposing teams often have short fields against the Eagles. And you know who thrives in short fields? Aaron Rodgers. I think it could be one of those games where Aaron Rodgers goes 220 yards on like 28 attempts and has 4 passing touchdowns. Would anybody be shocked with that this week? I don't think I would be. Week in and week out, the Packers D makes running backs look like Walter Payton. Well, let's look at the numbers real quick. Green Bay giving up 114 yards rushing per game, middle of the road for this week. Let's go to the defensive tab and see how they are against running backs. Points per game, fantasy-wise allowed. Green Bay, you are correct, sir. They are the 3rd worst defense against opposing running backs on the entire slate. So you've got David Montgomery in a dream spot against the Lions. You have Jonathan Taylor in a dream spot against the Texans, and Miles Sanders in a very, very good spot against the Packers. This is kind of crazy to me. Like the top 3 DVP, the top 3 matchups of the week are incredibly volatile running backs. How do we handle a situation like this? David Montgomery, Jonathan Taylor, and Miles Sanders. On any given week, you're looking at them saying, GPP only, GPP only. And I've seen it around the industry. People have been talking about David Montgomery as like stone cold cash lock this week. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Crazy. You know who thrives on any length of fields? Aaron Rodgers. No joke, man. If Fitz should smash, he won't. I tell you what, yesterday took the 11.5 Bengals, 11.5 point underdog Bengals. I took the spread there. I think they cover that with ease this week against the Dolphins. That's a crazy spread for the Dolphins. Crazy. Especially when the Dolphins are potentially still considering starting Tua. Tua Tagovailoa might be the starter. So yeah, you better believe that went into the Patreon bets yesterday. That's just that's a very, very nice line. That's literally the only thing Montgomery has going for him. Yeah. The fact that he's going to touch the ball a ton. And other than that, what does he have going for him? Not much. Fitz and Tua are both up in the air this week. The coach said something about that yesterday. They're still deciding who they want to start. It's not even official. I would fade Montgomery in cash too. Yes, I think Monty is a GPP option. As he always is. Large field tournaments. If Fitz plays, he's a great play. Nothing wrong with Fitz this week. Nothing at all. Jonathan Taylor, I have more intrigue, in than I do David Montgomery. D-Money comes in here at 74.09 DK rating, third highest on Draftkings, and looks like third highest on FanDuel as well. Oh, man, that's just an ugly, ugly play. That's rough. That's a rough one. Like, I'll play Wayne Gallman at the same price before I play David Montgomery. Yeah, just looking at these price tags. Heck, if Josh Jacobs is out, there's your cash play. Devontae Booker. It's Devontae Booker. Should be the next up. Did you sway me into playing Cousins this week? I'll have shares of him if I go outside of my lock 150 strategy that I've been highlighting. But I'm fairly certain I'm locking one quarterback this week, and I'll give that person away in my tiered rankings on the website. It'll be right here. Donuts, tiered rankings, and notes. I'll have my player notes up, all this stuff, and I'll have the lineup building video. That'll all be for the Ronin tier, and this will be locked up, okay? Like last week, it was Murray, Mahomes, and Allen. Only 3 quarterbacks I used. This week, I'm going with 1. Maybe 2. We'll see. For what it's worth, Trubisky versus Detroit in 4 games. Yeah. Play the matchups with Trubisky. If Allie Bourne were around, she'd be freaking out right now. You know who thrives with Mitch? My wife. Because I'm talking about myself. But Mitch Trubisky and this guy, where is he? They have a connection, man. They have a connection. He just eats with Trubisky around. 23, 19, 14, comes back, gets targeted 13 times by Mitchy Boy, 8 for 74, 2 scores. If you want this week, there's your leverage play off of David Montgomery. David Montgomery doesn't score any touchdowns this week. It's because Allen Robinson stole them. Love A-Rob. How do you not like A-Rob this week? What's his price tag on DraftKings? Come on, where is it? $6.7K. Oh my gosh. Darnell Mooney got 9 targets the first game with Trubisky. Oh my goodness. Always love A-Rob. His QBs are always the problem. You ain't wrong. Never seen a good QB. It's a brutal list. Shower narrative? We're just thankful Allie made it out of the pub after that Trubisky showing. Allie's here. That's funny. Everyone starts ragging on her immediately. Thanks for those likes over there on YouTube, my friends. I appreciate your support. You guys want to see this new? If you missed the starting scene, check this out. Come on, this is so sexy. I can't stand it. I love it so much. Oops, wrong one. Hold up. There we go. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Let's finish the rest of this lineup out here. So we got Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Robert Tonyan. I think Allen Robinson, phenomenal play this week, 6.7K. Keep Trubisky in there. A lot of decisions to make here at running back. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Josh Jacobs. I feel like he is potentially the key to the week. I do. I think he's the key for this week. If he is not playing, all right, we'll go with FanDuel. If Jacobs is not playing, then what is Booker priced at? FanDuel. 6K. Then Devontae Booker, man. 18 or so touches. Phenomenal spot. Heavy implied team total. I think it's 29 points. That's very high for the Raiders. Yeah. 27.75. I think this line has moved as well. I don't think it's still -8. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to. I'm looking at the snap rates. I was trying to see if Jalen Richard or Alec Ingold are taking snaps, high amounts of snaps, and it looks like really, truly the next pan up right here. You know, I'm looking at this section right here, my friends. So it's Booker, Jalen Richard, and Alec Ingold. And when I'm looking at them, you know, Alec Ingold had 1 week where he had more snaps than Devontae Booker as a backup, but mostly Booker has doubled his snap rate. I would assume that Booker's going to get like 65, 70% of the snaps if Jacobs is out. He's going to be your cash lock of the week, if so. I don't think Jalen Richard has been with the team for a few weeks. Myers are decent. What does IRC mean? If something really care? Jets are beaten in the air. Devontae Booker can catch passes. You telling me if Devontae Booker plays, you won't play Devontae Booker with, I don't know, 15 to 18 touches at 6K in this matchup? Yeah, Booker catches passes. I don't care. I could care less what the DVP tells me. His team is implied to score almost 28 points. They're heavy favorites. And there's the workhorse running backs potentially out. You guys are going to play the matchup game against the Jets? That is overthinking it 101. Holy smokes. I really care. That's IRC. No, IIRC? I have never seen that. If I really care? I'm not saying I care. Settle down. No, wait, what does it mean, though? I gotta know. What does it mean? If I remember correctly. Oh, IIRC. Well, that's a new one. I like it. Yeah, I'm not very good with the abbreviations. Back in my teaching days, you know, the past 14 years that ended 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Back in those days, I was the worst with all of the abbreviations for like every single school plan. So hard to remember. Mitch, your old man is showing. I'm good. Weirdo. I'm good. Corey Davis, Jarvis Landry, Adam Humphries. Oh, what am I doing here? I got to get the Draftkings here. The problem is the Raiders notoriously play terrible on East Coast games. Remember when the Raiders played the Chicago Falcons defense last week? What is happening, Chad? You guys all just like concuss yourselves? Chat concussion? Questionable to return? Listen, if you're not playing Devontae Booker, then you better be playing Derek Carr, or vice versa. I mean, someone's providing value this week. You do have a train. Current hype train conductor, it says, Porter. You are a current hype train conductor, bro. Congrats. Someone's scoring points this week for the Raiders. The Jets have lost by more than 15 points like 5 times this year. Somebody's scoring points. You're playing Booker or you're making a Carr, Ruggs, Waller stack or some garbage. And that's the other part of it is like, I don't like their stack. That's a terrible stack. The passing game stack sucks. So I'm going to invest in a Booker. It's Carr and Waller, and that's like it. I mean, potentially run it back with Mims. Hope he does something with his 8 targets for once. Please take my head-to-heads if you were playing Carr and cash. Correct. No one's played. This is not a cash build. Come on now. Jacobs did not practice Thursday. Jalen Richard did practice in full. But we know who Richard is at this point in his career. All right, so I'm going to grab Booker. All that to finish this lineup here. Booker 5-5, get in there. What is Richard? He will get pass catching opportunities. 4K. 4K. He's just not going to touch the ball enough. That's not happening. Make this quite simple. Falcons, get in there. You're in against Taysom. 5.3K to finish this lineup. Now I feel like I'm rolling in money. I mean, I can fit in 2 wide receivers that are cheap, affordable, have money to go up and get myself a third running back, a second good running back here. I don't get the total allure for Montgomery. It's just the matchup game. Is that what people like? I mean, he's good for 12 points this week. Thursday is always maintenance day. Is fading Cook for Henry and Cash viable on DK? Cash. You probably want Delvin and Cash. But I tell you what, man, I am such a second half Derrick Henry believer. It's not even funny. What's up, CG? Good to see you, brother. Chubb season? No doubt. Right there with you, man. 8.7K, phenomenal. 7.7K on Nick Chubb on Draftkings and 8.7K on FanDuel. Great price tags. Great price tags. What's up, D-Mills? Numbers guy, what's good, man? With Booker, Rodgers, Stacks, get way easier. Booker, Gallman. Yeah, Gallman I was thinking about for my RB2 here. Bernard, all around the same price. I don't know about Bernard. 11.5 point underdog. He can't run the football. And he's not getting thrown passes. Can I go get Eckler? Do I have money? I do. Chubb or Eckler here at the second running back, and you can probably make this whole thing work. Let's go Eckler. Let's get the PPR upside in there. How many targets did Chenault get last week from the longest neck on earth? 4? Eh. About you, Keelan Cole? 6. Did nothing with either. Feels so wrong, but I just keep clicking on Denzel Mims. That's frustrating, you know? Like, why am I doing that? 4.7K, your next play, somewhere in here. It's actually not looking nice. Slayton's been limited. Give this man some targets. Tell you what, Eckler, going up to Eckler actually is kind of tough. Looking at the rest of these options. What's the big draw of Miles Sanders for you guys? Why were people talking about him in the beginning? Yeah, I like Kiki. I like Kiki a little bit more for like actual game stacks, though. But yeah, you're right. He's going to play 85, 90% of snaps this week. We could go Kiki. Gallman 5.7, another fine option. I'm just trying to perfect this. The slate is wonky. James Robinson. Mims had a 10-point floor, 17-point ceiling. That's what Llama thinks. Green Bay, run D. That's it. Packers are bad versus the run, but yeah, I don't want any Sanders. Yeah, I don't get it. Why are people suggesting Miles Sanders? It's the coach, right? Scott keeps getting the ball. I mean, he had 7 more touches. And he's taking away, like, Draftkings equity right here. Pass catching opportunities. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Sanders suck, Eagles suck. Killing it. So my Las Vegas New York Jets game stack won't work. Did not say that. Coach is a PPR player. I think my favorite thing about Twitch is you guys love tossing out comments. Chat is always bumping. My YouTube family this week, mostly lurkers. YouTube, y'all can ask questions too. Toss out your thoughts. Tell me what I'm supposed to be doing with this lineup. What's up, Bama? Who do we think is the chalk bomb on Sunday? Ooh, do I not have alerts set up on this new thing? Alert box essential. Hold up. All right, I'll have to go through and change these up. There we go. We got an alert box again. Phew. I hope I didn't miss anything today. Thank you very much for the 200 bits, Bama. Appreciate it. Good vibes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. It's hard not to go Gallman there. It really is. I don't mind Damian Harris this week a little bit, too, against the Chargers. That interests me a little bit. If Swift is out again, you know, I guess Old Faithful here, and you're just hoping for some touchdowns. The vulture back, Edo Smith. I really want to play Jonathan Taylor in a tournament. My thinking here is the fact that, you know, listen, the game before he went on the COVID list, they finally said, go, right? Give him 26 touches. And then went on the COVID list, and we saw Jordan Wilkins and Nyheim Hines just absolutely bomb the opportunity. They were awful. They looked terrible running the football. Does that mean they just turned back the reins to Jonathan Taylor in the best matchup? Taylor's the most frightening? Awful. But, I mean, we're trying to win a tournament, right? Who can you run it back on that Green Bay stack? Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. James Robinson truly is probably your best option, but I hate it. I thought we target Chargers secondary. Oh, is the D-line still messed up for the Chargers? They're getting a little bit healthier. The game's going to be close, though. I mean, I think the line opened as a pick'em. And if the game is close or the Patriots are winning, I mean, we know Damian Harris is just going to get the ball a ton. Running backs versus Jets outscore their average by 1.87 points. Outliers are Melvin Gordon, Chase Edmonds blasting their averages. Take those two out. Running backs versus Jets underperform their average. This is a Taysom Hill week. Double dong game. 2 passing, 2 running, 2 touchdowns to Thomas. Book it. You maniac. Thanks for the like buttons over there on YouTube, my friends.
Did we just become best friends?
Mickey, good morning, man. My West Coast fam. What's up, brother? Thank you very much for the 100 bits. Thank you, thank you. All right, let me finish this sucker out here. So I think we've got a plethora of options in here we all are kind of looking at, right? I mean, it's David Montgomery, unfortunately, Wayne Gallman. To be honest, I think Kenyon Drake should be in play. They're a little concerned about whether they are or not. It looked like they were hiding Kyler Murray's shoulder, right? I mean, all of a sudden they're giving him the ball a ton. I'll take Kenyon Drake before I take David Montgomery, truly. I really would. I take him probably before Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to be low owned. And if you guys watched any of that game last week, Kyler Murray was protecting his shoulder. Legitimately looked afraid to get hit. Anytime pass rush got close to him, it was backpedal, throw off the back foot, avoid being touched. whenever he ran the ball. I think he ran out of bounds twice, slid another time, got tackled a couple other times. Only 5 carries. In fact, since he hurt his shoulder in week 11, he only has carried the ball 6 times. He carried the ball one more time after that injury, and then 5 times this past game. They only had 2 designed runs this past week for him as well. The other 3 were scrambles. So I think they're trying to protect his shoulder, and I think it's going to be a healthy dose of Kenyon Drake this week, 5.7K. I like the fact that the Cardinals are at home. Listen, they're plus 3-point underdogs. They opened as favorites, and I think that also points to the fact that Kyler Murray, maybe people are just not entirely sure about the shoulder. I like the Cardinals to cover that plus 3. I think it's an interesting spot. I think Kenyon Drake's going to get peppered with opportunities. I think Drake's a better running back than people think, too. Kyler was a full participant in practice. He was full participant last week and was not on the injury report. He's not healthy. You watched him play, right? He is not healthy. You like that? All right, DVA. Bama. 100 bits to never play David Montgomery? No problem, bro. No problem. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, JTT. Heartthrob of the 90s for all the teeny boppers. I'm using a specific metric for wide receivers this week, and Thomas actually fits. What's your metric? Can you tell us? I was aiming at running 1 Taysom line naked. All right. I don't think you need to stack Taysom. I'm right there with you. 23 pass attempts in week 11, 16 in week 12. I mean, there's quarterbacks out there who are throwing the ball 39 times in one game. This guy has thrown 39 in 2 games. They are hiding him. He cannot throw the football. He just can't throw the football right now. If the Pats crush, Chargers Damian Harris will get touches. I agree. If the game is close, how do you feel about James White? Yeah, sure. Play James White only if you're stacking up, something like this. You're going Herbert, Allen, Henry, or Mike Williams, right? And then you're running it back with James White. Like that's the only time I touch James White. When you think there's opportunity for him to just get absolutely peppered with targets. Other than that, I'm not touching James White. Don't care what his price tag is. Don't care what a game log looks like. Danny Dimes? Ha. Okay. Heidi ho there, neighbor. Wilson as the neighbor. 7.7K for Chef Russ is too cheap against Danny Dimes and the stumbling Giants. I would agree, other than the fact that if you see right now, they clearly, since Hyde has arrived, and now the return of Chris Carson, they clearly are trying to pull the reins back a little bit on the unleashing of Russell Wilson's throwing arm. I mean, I don't know how to phrase this, but they're trying to throw the ball a lot less. Coach came out and said they want to throw and complete a combined at, what do you say, 55 plays, right? So 55 completed attempts plus rushes, whatever that's supposed to be. It's a weird metric they're going by. But they're throwing the ball less these last couple games. And Carlos Hyde is getting a lot of touches. And Chris Carson was healthy. And they had opportunities to throw the football last game that they just didn't. This time is over. And look, and I think this is what they're looking at. 0 picks, 0 picks. Beforehand, turning the ball over left and right. Yeah. Chris Carson, 6.3K, but he only had 8 touches last week. You'll take the over on 24 DK points this week? On who? Russell Wilson? Saving Russ for the playoffs. Yeah, maybe. Pamela Anderson was on the show? Yes. She was the initial tool girl, or whatever they called her. She bring out all the tools. The OG Heidi. Yeah. Forgot about that. They kind of do, though. Tim Allen came out with another show after that, like a decade later, that was kind of like a spitting image of Tool Time. Or, whatever. What's that show called? Man something? What is that show called? Tim Allen. Last man standing is still going since 2011. Holy smokes. That's crazy. I didn't know it's been around that long. 173 episodes, 8 seasons.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
That's crazy. Matter of fact, Home Improvement, 8 seasons, 204 episodes. What? Like, this is crazy to me. All right, I'm going to compare these two real quick. Home Improvement, 7.2 here on IMDb. 204 episodes over 8 seasons. Last Man Standing, 7.6, 174 episodes, 8 seasons. I've seen a few episodes. Funny show. Standard Tim Allen stuff. Oh, you guys got to check out this video today on YouTube. Oh, what did I just do? I like it. I like it. I had music playing, my friends, during the video. Music was playing, and it's just 5 minutes long. What's up, Brandon? I see you over there on YouTube. Would you pick up Hines over Taylor this week for Indy? Oh, golly, that's tough. I mean, it's a 1-week play, and if you're just hoping for upside, I think Jonathan Taylor has that upside, touchdown equity. But man, if the construct of the rest of your lineup needs a higher floor player, I think Hines is probably the floor player. Brandon, good question. That's a tough one. Trump supporters have been carrying him on Last Man Standing. Is it a conservative show? Could be that he is funny. He is a funny man. I think my favorite Tim Allen one was Christmas. The Christmas one where he's Santa. Can't remember what it's called. You miss TGIF? You long for the TGIF days? Those were the good old days. Let's see here. Let's go the opposite direction and say that we're rolling out our running backs first. In which case, I think there's credence this week. You're going to think it's weird to fading these guys. I feel so wrong to say. I know. But hear me out. You can put together quite the balanced lineup with plenty of touchdown and upside, touchdown equity and upside at some of these mispriced players. I mean, you could go Rodgers, Tunyon, and maybe Lazard instead of Adams. And I still think you could probably even just go Rodgers and Tunyon. The way he spreads the football around, I think you'd be all right. If you don't want that and you want to fade Delvin Cook, you probably want to leverage it a little bit. So if you're going the Meyer route here, you're going Cousins, maybe Adam Thielen for some red zone equity here because you're saying, listen, I think Delvin Cook's going to stumble. Why would he stumble? Because Adam Thielen steals red zone touchdowns. He's done it all year. If he does it, he's going for 20 plus. Delvin, maybe his ceiling is capped. So that's the stack. 6.9K Justin Jefferson still there as well. You're like, well, Mitch, I only have 4-3 left. Well, my friends, I still have not played a defense. There's very cheap ones. You can now invest in the touchdown equity of Aaron Rodgers with Robert Tunyon and not have a Rodgers stack. You could go down here to the bottom of the barrel and grab one of these defenses, and I still think you'd be okay. Jets defense continuously puts up decent points here at the min price. 9 last week, 8 2 weeks ago against the Chargers. They've been low to mid single digits all year at 2.1K. You would be okay with that. Falcons defense has turned a corner, and if you have not noticed, you're in trouble here, but they have kept their opposing teams to 23 or less since week 4. Hard not to like the Falcons at 2.4K against the Taysom Hill weak noodle he has. And I think sack potential is up there. I think turnover upside is there as well. And now I have 5.1K to finish out this lineup. We had already talked about a little bit earlier with Kiki Kuti at 3.5K. Should run 90% or more of the snaps. 51.5 point game total. 5.9K for my final 2 spots. This thing built itself. It was very quick. And if you did not like it, you're like, Mitch, this is stupid. You're a moron. You can't fade Delvin and Derrick Henry. Okay, well, I'm leveraging Delvin by using the Vikings pass attack. So let's go ahead and hop off Chubb here, and let's go up and let's grab Derrick Henry. And I still have 5.2K left over, wide receiver and flex option. This is fairly easy to finish this lineup. I mean, we've got Corey Davis at 5-1. I don't mind that whatsoever. Mike Williams, that's fine. Michael Pittman, you could run out there and have a little double stack action between Cootie and Pittman Jr. and have 5.5K left over. There's a lot of options here. You can go down, pay for Mims, one of these guys that's going to get, 6 to 8 targets where his floor sucks, and you're hoping he finally catches a touchdown. But I think that's a fairly solid way to approach this slate. If you're not going to play the chalky cook, how can you leverage that situation? Brandon asks over on YouTube, he says, I know Lions suck rushing defense, but do you think Montgomery won't go over 75 yards with an interim coach playing the rest of the season for the Lions? So this week specifically, do I think the Lions defense is going to hold to Montgomery less than 75 yards? I would think there's a higher probability that he's under 75 than he's over 75. I haven't seen his prop yet. I would not doubt his props at like 62.5 or so. It can't be too high. If anybody wants to look that up while I'm chatting, that'd be great. His prop bet cannot be that high this week, can it? Let me grab my action real quick. Now I gotta look. Bears, Lions. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Look what the line is. I nailed it. Freaking nailed it. What did I say? That's a good line. I said 62.5. It's 61.5 here. Right here, my friends. Join me. Prop stuff going out today. It'll be a bit of like blurb stuff talking about this analysis-wise. Not entirely outright picks, but more analysis-based. 61.5 prop right there. David Montgomery. We have him projected for 68.24 yards rushing this week. So our model has him hitting the over on that prop. And man alive, is Detroit's rush defense reckless. They suck. 133.4 yards per game. It's a good line. Montgomery is on my ban list of players never to use. Yeah, he's on a lot of people's, William. That's funny, man. I don't like Trubisky this week, says Myers, due to the fact that I don't think the game shoots out. Mitch is the king of garbage time. Yes, sir. And they're not trailing. He won't sling it 50 times. Chicago defense is legit. No Swift and possibly no Galladay. It just seems like an ugly game. I would think they try to feed Robinson the ball with an interim coach, which means the Lions defense should be in play. Their QBs suck. I think defense on both sides. Totally in play. Frank Gore hits mega value this week. Book it. Yo, Llama just came in here slinging like GPP darts. He's feeling funky this week. Squeaky wheel Camaro, 2 receiving touchdowns. Guy has 3 targets in 2 weeks. That'd be wild. They're scoring 40 against the Birds. Jeez, man. Look for Llama's Patreon. These are wild, man. Listen, you play all these, you're going to win a Millie Maker. Jameis needs to play. Yeah, he does. Can still jam in Booker. Oh, yeah, that's right. You can plug him in at 5.5K. Good call. Darts. Look at it, he says. Frank Gore. What am I looking for, buddy? What did you say about Frank Gore? Mega value? What's mega value on Frank Gore? I'll donate. I'm thinking Dante Booker. I'll donate my money to pay the rake instead of playing Montgomery. Ban that guy from DFS for life. You guys are funny. I picked the Lions upsetting Bears because both teams suck, says Brandon Vell. Is he close? Is he close chalk to Cook? No, he's not. Our initial projections have Cook way up there, 38%. Doubling David Montgomery. I think people will shy away from he won't ever become mega chalk because he's just way too volatile and people know it. You know what I mean? Like, people know he's very volatile at this point. It's not like it's like someone with the upside of DeAndre Swift at 5'5", who people I think would make him quite chalky because he's talented, legit talented. And if he had the opportunity and he was healthy, he'd probably be quite chalky at the same price of Montgomery. But Montgomery, I mean, people know what he is at this point. I think this, my friends, is bad chalk 101. David Montgomery. Corey Henry 4.4K hitting 16 is mega value, says Llama. So Frank Gore at 16 points. That would be a season high at 4.4K. I mean, is that the upside that's going to win you a tournament, though? That's my question for you. Just to turn it around. Does that win you a tournament? I'll bet Gore over Booker if Jacobs doesn't play. Llama's just begging someone to throw money around. Is John Brown done for the year? I have no clue. Week to week focus for me. Bills are not on the main slate, so I have no Bills takes or research on them. I'm a terrible actual NFL fan for my own Buffalo Bills team at this point. I am so buried in work for DFS stuff because of the site that my fanhood just, something falls by the wayside. You know what I mean? It's always got to be something. Something's got to take a back seat. What's up, Cash Man? Good to see you. What does that mean? What does Cheer 300 mean? Mad Cow says, how do you sort number filters greater than and get an option to come up to enter a value in Study Hub? Watch Donuts do it on stream. Can't get it to work now. Can I show you right now, my friend, while we're live? Let's do it. What would you like to know? Give me a position. Yeah, what's up? Oh, the 716 Mafia. Ah, yes, sir. My favorite new person in stream. Look at a player like the second best player in DFS and how he builds lineups that win Millie Makers. Let me answer this question. Look at a player like the second best player in DFS and how he builds lineups that win Millie Makers. I don't follow, my friend. His value back only has to hit 14 to 16. QB pass attempts and stat projections
are the best way to show someone how much you care. It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey, man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
I didn't know when I sent that. When I set that up, that is funny. Appreciate it, Cash Man. Thank you very much. 300. And he's pulling out the office. All right, let's see here. You want pass attempts? for the stat projections, this is an interesting thing to research here. What is your marker, your metric that you want? Like attempts over, what, 35 looks like a good one. So you click on this little arrow here, okay? And by the way, if you ever, stacks are alive, nice. I will open them up on the side, and we'll get to that in a second. So I'm going to go to number filters, greater than. Oh, what the heck? CG, this is busted. Here, watch this. Down here in the bottom right, two things. Number one, you can download it. Number two, you can click View Full-Size Workbook. Works. All right, so I'm going to go to quarterback. Let me blow up my screen a little bit. There we go. Okay, I'm sorting pass attempts. I'm going to click this button right here, this filter, number filters, greater than 35. All right. So now here's my list of quarterbacks with greater than 35 pass attempts. No, yeah. I don't know. I guess that was finicky. Who knows, man? Oh, got to view full workbook. All right. Well, I'm in full workbook right now. So did you see where I clicked, my friend? Down here, bottom right? It's a browser thing. Like if you do stuff on Microsoft Edge, which I'm just not going to use, okay? So that's no problem. CG, who cares, man? It's the tiniest thing. But in Chrome, for whatever reason, it just gets funky. So I open it up in this, the View Full-Size Workbook, and for whatever reason, it's completely functional here. You're welcome. Happy to show you. I'm glad we covered it. I'm sure other people had the same question. But yeah, but I will go through this. This is how I actually do my tiered rankings. And I'll go through and I'll find players this way. So if I'm looking at like the main slate, right? And I want to look at the wide receivers, and you know, maybe I'm looking for a value play. So I'm looking for wide receivers getting more than 7 targets. And I also want them to have more than, I don't know, 10 fantasy points per game. All right. And then I need their price tag on Draftkings to be between 3,000 and 6,000. Give a nice range. And then pare that down. So there's my list. These are wide receivers over the last 4 weeks getting 10, an average of 7 or more targets, an average of 10 or more DraftKings points, who are priced between 3 and 6K. And then you could just, you know, tweak this how you want from there. Wide receivers with only 30 plus fantasy points. That's your metric. Hired. You mean like this? Feel like Llama needs a hug today. Seems a little edgy. Player pool should be very small. I believe this is 47 people last week. Your player pool should be very small. Your quarterback stacks, like this, 3 people. Your quarterbacks are what drive your success and failure. So if you can pare down your quarterbacks, run out, 34, 33% on each of them, your 47, 48 people player pool will inherently give you like a hedged investment. So while I might have 30 or 50 Patrick Mahomes stacks last week, because maybe if you even throw like a 50% exposure on, exposure cap, that means maybe you get 50% Cook on your Mahomes stack. So you'd have 25 Cooks, you'd have 25 Henry and Mahomes combos, You know, and then these guys would be descending at like, 25, 17%, stuff like that. So if you cap your global cap exposures inside your player pool with a small player pool, I think that is clearly the way to go. And I hope at this point in the season, we're all on the same page. Well, I mean, how am I not supposed to take that as a little edge today when you're saying to look at the real pros? What do you mean, the real pros? I play $5,000 a week. Does that, and I do this for a living now. Am I not a professional in your books? What am I? I have $5K in play every Sunday, my friend. But you're right. Don't listen. Pay attention to the real pros. I was curious why that filter wasn't working too. Nice to know I was right after being browser related. Blaine, you're correct, my friend. Yeah, it's like a Chrome thing. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. I feel like, Excel is a Microsoft product. So like Microsoft Edge, probably what we should use for it. But, I mean, not many people are rolling out Microsoft Edge right now, so. Define real. I agree right there, CG. There are people playing more money than me who have full-time jobs. I still think they're pros. I think you can be considered a pro if you're playing DFS purely as a side income. Right? Like if you are playing DFS at this point, and it's no longer a hobby because you are playing it to make money, legit to make some type of side income living, is that not being a pro? And there's probably people who could be considered pros that play less money than me. Like, I'm not saying, hey, I play $5,000, so I'm a pro because of that. I mean, I think you could probably be a pro with a couple $100 on the line every week. I think pros is such a stupid word in the first place. If we are going on the only people who are playing 100,000 a week, I mean, your pro list is very small. If you're going with people who play this for a living, that's probably a little too big. I don't know what that metric is. You guys can all chat about that off stream. All right, I'm out of here. Been an hour. Did a video beforehand. I have 2 more videos to do today. Very busy day. And I hope that you're all enjoying these videos, these streams. I posted a very short 5-minute YouTube video. It's a very cool new overlay. It is much different than any other video I've done. It is fast and hard-hitting. It's just 5 minutes. I'm going to try to do all my YouTube videos like this from here on out. One take, 5 minutes long, and they're going to be filled with pure analysis, no fluff. Like I literally opened up the video and I said, hey guys, it's your man Donuts. I am the owner of teamriseorfall.com. Today, these are my top stacks. Boom, right? It went into it. Overlay didn't even have my camera, and it just went straight into analysis. And I built out lineups on FanDuel and Draftkings based on top stacks. And I hope you guys like it. If you guys show support there, you're welcome, Blaine. I appreciate your support over there on YouTube, man. You guys are too kind. Here's the Top Stacks tool. I hope people go diving into this right now. It's going to be the very first thing I look at here off screen, and I'll begin to put together my player pool for the weekend. I'll post all of that stuff Saturday morning. I'll do the lineup building private video for Ronin members. I will also have the patreon.com/riseorfall stuff up so that I can go over the props and all the confidence reports for the weekend on the props that I like and where I think there are edges. That will all be posted in blurb and article form over there on Patreon. $4.99, very cheap. Give it a look. Down below in the description section, actually, I think I posted it there, so you guys can click it there. Question. Do you provide ownership projection on your website? Yes, sir, right here. It is on the NFL Study Hub. You can go to both Draftkings ownership and FanDuel ownership. And this will be updated and final Sunday morning, 11 a.m.-ish. It gets updated again on Saturday afternoon as well, as do projections and as does our stat projections. Let me see. I can grab the subscribe button for you. See, YouTube, you guys are like pretty chill over there. I like you guys. There's your sub button, my friend. So if you are also an FC player, which I know a lot of people are, you get $20 credit on their site with us, which makes us $9.99 a month. Very nice. Go ahead. If you watch the stream today, use promo 10OFF. I did not have that up. It's hidden. It's not even live. I will make it live for 3 people today. If you use promo 10OFF, you'll get $10 off your first month. Okay? So I'll go make that live again for 3 people in case a few others want to sign up, and then it'll close out again. Take care. I hope you have a great day. A happy Friday, and enjoy